Hello, hungry peoples. Let me show you a really simple and delicious pasta sauce here. And it's easy. And you know, if I can cook it, it's easy because I'm a terrible cook. What I have in here is a half a cup of onion, a half a cup of carrot, and a half a cup of celery. And I got about a tablespoon of olive oil in there. So I'm going to saute this for a few minutes and then we're going to go on. Okay, that's been a good 5 minutes. The onions are translucent. The carrots obviously aren't cooked yet. The celery is pretty well cooked. Now at this point, I've turned the heat off and I'm just going to add a teaspoon. That was a heaping teaspoon of garlic. So I don't want to overcook that. So I'm going to stir that around, let that cook for about 30 seconds, and then we're on to the next step. Okay, I parked my veggies in a bowl, and now we're on to the meat stage. Now, if you don't want any meat, this makes a delicious pasta sauce without any meat. I've served it without any meat, like as a side dish to grilled chicken. You can do that, or you can eat it without any meat at all. And what I'm using here is ground beef. You can use whatever you want. It's actually much better with half ground beef and half ground pork. But if you don't want to eat pork, you can use ground beef. You can use ground turkey. That's what I've done. So I'm going to brown this and go to the next step. Okay, I bought the lowest fat ground beef I could, but I still drained it. And I parked it in a bowl. So I got my meat and I got my veggies. And I'm not going to add all that meat necessarily to the veggies. I want to do it in a ratio, and you can just tell that by looking at it. So let's do that. Okay, so I've found that if you put too much meat in here, it just overwhelms the flavor. So I wound up putting about half. So I would say that's about a half a pound of meat with those veggies. And I can see the ratio is what I want. Now the next step is wicked important. You want to use a really good brand of tomatoes. And you want to use the crushed tomatoes, and this brand is not cheap, but it's very tasty. I've tried the store brand. It really does make a difference. Don't be cheap. This is what you want. I'm going to open that and put that in. Okay, I got my crushed tomatoes in there, and you can see this is going to be a very thick sauce, very, very thick. It's thick like a bolognese sauce, very, very thick. And the only spice I'm putting in here is 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. Now, if you eat salt, you can put the salt in now. If you don't eat salt, don't worry about it. It's delicious even without it. All right, so I'm going to let this cook for about half an hour. Now, this, I was told, is traditionally served with the cavatappi, the pasta. But I like the spaghetti. I'm going to serve it with the spaghetti. Anyway, this stuff is delicious. You should give it a try. I'll see you later, dudes.